Hi, I'm Nico, an Irish chef with Jamaican roots. And my passion for food and love for flavour combinations have brought me all over the world. Always nice to put a bit of rhythm into your coleslaw. And I want to share these flavours, tips and discoveries with you. From beautiful breakfasts to mouth-watering lunches to dinners, even delicious desserts. Everything tastes better when you cook it over fire. You've never had a burger like it. Let me show you how to up your grilling game so you can barbecue like a pro, whatever the weather. Let's get fired up. Cooking over fire is one of life's greatest pleasures, and there's so much more to barbecue than half-cooked sausages and rubbery burgers. Today, I'm going to show you a few of my signature recipes, including one of my all-time favorites, a versatile and oh so tasty jerk seasoning for chicken or veggies, some get your hands dirty steak tacos with a fiery hot sauce and mild salsa. But first up, let me introduce you to your new signature barbecue dish. Cook this once, and I guarantee your guests will ask for it every single time. This is my crushed pork and pineapple burger with chili mayo and shredded slaw. Right, there's no food without fire, so let's light it up. I've got a foolproof method to get your barbecue and coals lit really quickly called El Volcán or El Volcano. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap up our newspaper into a little ring. We wanna get it like nice and tight and dense. We just want them to form a little structure. Now, this was the method when I was using it in Argentina. They'd always just say, nunca falla, that it never fails. Now it's time to put on our coals. Now, it's always better to start with your bigger pieces at the bottom. You don't need to fill your barbecue with coals. Like, a small amount is gonna give you the exact heat you need. I'm gonna gently remove the bottle while keeping all the paper inside. We've created a nice volcano. Just gonna light it with a doubled up piece of newspaper. No lighter fluid, no chemicals, no fire starters, just a natural flame. And right into the center. There we go. And that's it. Leave that for about 15-20 minutes. Let the coals get nice and hot. Now, just to flavor up the base of our pork and pineapple burger, I'm gonna toast some seeds. I'm gonna be using some mustard seed. Use about a tablespoon, some coriander seed, and I love coriander seed because it has this incredible citrusy burst to it, and some chili flakes. You'll know when your seeds are done when that perfume starts to waft through. That's the flavor and the oil's being released, and that is what we're looking for. Citrus of the coriander, the fragrance of the chili. It smells so good already. Now, that's why I use a pestle and mortar. I don't want it dust. You don't want the flavors to get lost in the burger. I'm gonna add some salt and some pepper. So I'm just gonna add my spice mix to some quality approved pork mince. I've got some sausages and I'm taking them out of their suits. I've got 4 garlic cloves. I'm just gonna grate them in. Now, just to add to our garlic, zest of 1 lime. Beautiful. I'm just gonna use 4 scallions. All these flavors combined are gonna give you such a tasty patty. I guarantee you've never had a burger like it. Just to bind it all together, get some breadcrumbs and the most subjective measurement in all of human history, a knob of butter. I'm just gonna get my hands in. We wanna get that butter passed through so it can carry the flavor. Now, I'm just gonna form these into patties, all around the same size, so they'll cook evenly and at the same time. Now, I'm just gonna pop these in the fridge for about 30 minutes so they don't fall apart in the grill, and I'm gonna wash my hands. Now, to sit on top of my burgers, I'm gonna make a beautiful chili mayo slaw. Little trick for you. I don't always use a peeler because I think sometimes a lot of the vegetable gets wasted. I've just got some tin foil, crumpled it up, and it's perfect for taking the outer layer of the carrot off. And now onto our cabbage. Chop it into quarters. We're gonna maintain the root, and it almost acts as like a nature's handle. Always nice to put a bit of rhythm into your coleslaw, as the old saying goes. Now to soften up our coleslaw just a little bit and add a bit of zest to it, I'm gonna add the juice of our lime and just a pinch of our salt and a little bit of our pepper. And just mix it around. And look at those lovely summer colors. Now for our chili mayo, it is as easy as it sounds. I'm gonna get some mayonnaise. I'm gonna use about 3 tablespoons for this. Tablespoon of mustard. And a lashing of your favorite hot sauce. This part's up to you. If you like it a bit hot, throw in some more, but we don't want it to dominate the flavor. We just want that little spice to complement the pineapple. And our last ingredient, just for a bit of that herbaceous freshness, is the green tips from our scallions. Nothing gets wasted in my kitchen. Beautiful. And always a little tip when you're dealing with spices, just give it a little taste. I'm gonna put a bit more in, because I like my food nice and spicy. I'm just gonna put in about 80% of it, and then we're gonna use the rest as a sauce for the burger. Now, one of my favorite flavor combinations is that bite of a fresh cabbage mixed with something spicy, and the creaminess of the mayo. Start cooking our burgers. I'm just gonna check on my coals, see how they're getting on. They should be like flaky embers. Now I've just moved my coals over here on one side, which is gonna be my direct heat. And then the other side, I've got nothing, which is my indirect zone. And now for our burgers, I'm gonna put them on the grill on the indirect side. Because we have enough heat coming from the direct side, that's gonna pass over through. We just want them to cook all the way through and evenly. I'm just gonna give it a tiny bit of salt. So I'm gonna leave these burgers on the grill for about 20 minutes. And now the dance partner to our crushed pork burger is pineapple. So it's in a quarter. We're just gonna remove the woody core, which is completely inedible, while keeping the leaves intact so we can turn it when it's on a barbecue. And just to help along with the caramelization process, we're gonna sprinkle some dark muscovado sugar here. Now I know pineapple on a pizza is very controversial, but pineapple on a burger, that just makes sense. What we want to do is put the sugar facing towards the flame. If it's getting too hot, that's what the indirect side is for. Just move it over. And the sugar is actually already starting to caramelize. I'm going to leave it for about 10 minutes. I'm going to put the lid on and turn our barbecue into an oven. Oh, it's a beautiful sight. Our burgers got a nice, lovely sear, and I can feel them. They're nice and juicy as well. Now, I'm gonna take off our pineapple. A beautiful caramelization. I'm just gonna remove the flesh, chop this up. We call that the pineapple dance. We're almost at the finish line here. I'm gonna toast our buns over the high heat. Do keep an eye on them. All we're looking for is a nice little toast. And now it's time to assemble our burger. A little dollop of our chili mayo first. A couple of spoonfuls of our roasted caramelized pineapple. And time for the main character, our burger. Nice charred on the outside, juicy in the middle. Topped off with our lovely summery chili slaw. The thing of beauty. My favorite thing about this recipe is the combination of the roast pineapple and the chili. This is just summer in a quick mouthful. Magic. I love to explore different flavours. When I was growing up, I was the Dublin kid whose dad's side of the family was from Roscommon and the mum's side was from Jamaica. So there was a combination of meat and two veg with a little Jamaican twist, a hint of Scotch bonnet, a sprinkle of pimento, and that spilled into how I cook as a chef. There's always familiar flavours, but you can elevate them by adding something new. And that's exactly what you want when you're entertaining. When I opened my restaurant, Little Porty, I wanted to share the dishes that I love to cook and eat. The first dish on the menu was jerk chicken, and it was the dish people kept coming back for. I cannot think of a better flavor combination for grilled meats and vegetables than the classic jerk marinade. You've got that sweetness from the brown sugar, you've got a soothing heat that's not too spicy, the sharpness from the vinegar, and the flavor of robust herbs. When it comes to grilling, jerk is king. And the fact that it come from Jamaica, that's just a bonus. So for the base of our jerk sauce, I'm gonna start with some onion, ginger, garlic, and scallions. Just one whole onion. Take the skins off. I'm using 6 garlic cloves, a thumb-sized piece of ginger, and always peel with a spoon. Some scallions. And now for the main character of our marinade. This is the Scotch bonnet. It's a lovely fruity chili that's got a nice heat behind it. But if you can't find it in the shops, any red chili will do. And for less heat, just remove the seeds. But I like my heat, so they're going in whole. Maybe 2. Teaspoon of cinnamon and 3 teaspoons of allspice. And to balance out that spice in our marinade, I'm using 3 tablespoons of sugar. And to give our marinade a nice richness, got some soy sauce. I tend not to add more salt because the soy sauce is salty enough. And our last ingredient is thyme vinegar. Now, all I've done here is heated some vinegar, mixed it with some thyme leaves to help intensify the flavor of the herb. And that's the simplicity of a marinade. Throw it in a blender and you're done. Ooh. I've got a nice, smooth consistency for my marinade. Oh. Every single time, just that sharpness from the vinegar, the smoothness of that Scotch bonnet heat. It goes great with pork, chicken, seafood, every kind of vegetable. Such a versatile marinade. That's delicious. And you can add this to your barbecue repertoire and thank me later. Now that we have our jerk marinade, I'm going to show you 2 ways to use it. One for the carnivores, and we can't forget our vegetarian and vegan friends too. We're gonna keep the marinade for our chicken and vegetables separate. I'm just gonna give the chicken a little score so the marinade can do its work. Pop that straight into the bowl. Let's give that a little mix so every inch of it is covered. Let's leave that to sit and wash my hands. Now, while the chicken is marinating, I'm going to show you a vegetarian alternative. Just going to cut our cauliflower into nice, thick steaks so they hold together on the barbecue. And let it get soaked up in our marinade. And of course, don't be afraid to spoon more on. Now, with all this flavor, this is a beautiful vegetarian main, or even as a delicious side. You don't need to worry about marinating your vegetables. These can go straight on the grill. My chicken is nice and marinated, so I'm gonna put that on first. It's always good to separate your meat and veggies on 2 different sides, because your vegetarian friends will appreciate that. I'm gonna put these on the indirect side. Almost instantly, I'm getting that fragrance from the cinnamon and the allspice, that little bit of sweetness from the brown sugar, and of course, that spice from the Scotch bonnet. Time for the veggies. Cauliflower, you can put that on a bit of a higher heat. A little more marinade for look. Looking good. Now I'm just gonna leave the lid on and let these guys cook. Now, that's been about 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna check on the cauliflower. Lovely. Now, you'll know it's cooked. The knife or a fork just sails through it quickly. And all I'm gonna do is just bring it over to the indirect side, away from the heat, and let our chicken continue cooking. Give your chicken 35 minutes on the grill, lid closed. That is a beautiful, dark, jerky color. It's always the benefit of just taking the time, especially with barbecue. Just leaves your meat so juicy and tender. Now for our cauliflower. That is it. The perfect barbecue seasoning, done 2 ways. All that's left is have a little taste. We'll start with the chicken. Every single bite I have of jerk just brings in a memory. The sweet, the spice, the bitter, it's all there. I love it. Now, growing up, I was never the biggest fan of cauliflower, but that's actually great. Perfect as a side, and great vegetarian dish. Sometimes the knife and fork slows me down. I'm gonna eat this one with the hands. Oh man, so juicy. This last dish is a total crowd pleaser. Now, tacos are famously Mexican, but I perfected this recipe in Argentina, where they know a few things about grilling steak. It's got a hot sauce if you like it fiery, and a mild sauce to cool the mouth. First things first, we're gonna make a nice roasted sauce. I'm gonna get my garlic and just give it a little drizzle of olive oil. I'm gonna wrap that up, and we're gonna put it directly over the coals. Now for the rest of our sauce, we're just gonna put all these lovely vegetables at the edge of the indirect heat till they get lovely and soft. Now the corn is for our salsa later, but I'm just gonna put it on now. Get enough time to char and cook. And the last ingredient for our fiery hot sauce, of course, is the jalapeno. Now I'm gonna put this on the far side of the indirect heat because I don't really wanna roast it. I just wanna get that beautiful smoky flavor. I'll put the lid on and let it all cook. Those vegetables have been on for 15 minutes now, and they should be nice and roasted. And don't fret if there's a bit of char or you think it's burnt. It's exactly what we're looking for, is that burnt flavor. And of course you can use a tongs for this if you don't have asbestos fingers like me. Lovely. Our corn is lovely and charred. I'm just gonna move it to the indirect side. And we'll get our garlic paste out. That's one of my favorite smells. Roasted, squidgy garlic. Now that garlic should just squeeze out, just like a nice roasty, delicious paste. Remove the stalks from your veg, the seeds from your pepper, and roughly chop. Of course, with the jalapeno, the heat is all in the seeds, but we want it nice and fiery, so I'm gonna leave them in. Now, to finish off our sauce, I'm gonna put everything into our pestle and mortar. Add some seasoning, just a bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper. I find with grinding it, you just get the flavors combined in a different way to blending it and food processing it. Now, this sauce goes great with any meat, but I've used it before as a pasta sauce. A meal I'm never gonna forget. Now it's time for our meat. I like to oil my board just so I can coat each side evenly. I'm using some beautiful strip loin here. Just a little layer of olive oil is going to stop it sticking to the grill. Do not be shy with the salt, because a lot of it is going to fall through the grill. And I'm just going to go over the direct side this time. Now again, this is why we have a 2-zone cooking. We just want to get a nice, beautiful char on our steaks. About 4 or 5 minutes each side. Don't be afraid to move it around if it gets too hot. That's what the indirect side is for. Now, if you usually like your steak well done, try your steak medium rare. I promise you, you won't regret it. Use a meat thermometer to check your steak. Now, 54 is the perfect medium rare. 71 is well done. I'm just going to leave them to rest about 5-10 minutes. What that does is it's going to help the juices redistribute around your meat. But what I always like to do is leave a bit of butter and thyme. No need to chop, use your fingers. and just wrap it up. Now it's time to move on to our salsa. What we're going to start with, our beautiful red onion, which we're going to finely dice. Just get it as small as you can. Now we're just going to mix our red onion with the juice of a lime. Always give it a little roll first. Softens it up and gets all the juice out. A little bit of salt, a little dash of pepper. Ready for our corn. All I'm going to do, stack it on its end, take off the kernels. Just going to go right into our bowl and mix the red onion and corn together. There's something so special about grilled corn. One of the simplest things to put on the barbecue and easily one of the most delicious. And now for our lovely crumbly feta cheese. Give it a little mix. I'm using some mint and some basil. Just roughly chop it in. This is going to offer a lovely mild contrast to our hot fiery sauce. Our steak is nicely rested. My guests are looking hungry. So, we're just going to cut our steak to nice taco-sized strips. These corn tortillas just need a kiss on the grill over the hot coals. Keep an eye on them because they tend to burn quite quickly. 10, 15 seconds each side. Should be enough. And now for our taco assembly. To start off with our beautiful, fiery, roasted hot sauce. And our beautiful steak. And don't be afraid to redistribute all those lovely juices. And to top it off, our seared corn salsa. I'm yet to meet a person that doesn't like tacos, and I'm still not convinced that person actually exists. Now, I've heard the only rule with a taco is once you pick it up, you don't put it down. The firiness from the hot sauce is the first thing you get, but then the overwhelming coolness of the mild sauce and the cheesy feta brings you into a state of taco bliss. A little bit of lime. Back garden feast with good company and good food. Is there anything else you need in life? Maybe a taco. There you go. Thank you. Try out these simple recipes because they're guaranteed to leave a smile on your friends' faces. Cheers. To us or no one else.